Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video with the Roshan Corruption, and today I've got another episode of Shout Out Sunday for you guys. And for those of you that are new on my channel here, Shout Out Sunday is basically a series that I recently started to give thanks to all of my subscribers and to sort of give back to the community because you guys have all been so supportive of me. So I figured the least I can do is thank you guys weekly and give some of you guys who have been especially supportive shout outs. If you guys want to learn more about the motivation for this series, I'll include a link and maybe an annotation to the previous videos in which I talk about them more. But before we get into the shoutouts this time around, I want to give a couple updates. I do want to try and keep these short, but knowing me, I'll probably go overboard and spend like 40 minutes on these updates. But regardless, first thing, where has all the manga content been? I realize that there's definitely been a lack of manga content on my channel recently. I just want to clarify why that's been the case. So last week, I fell a little bit behind with some of the manga series that I review on my channel, namely Akame ga Kill, Attack on Titan, Fairy Tail, and One Piece. So this week what I tried to do is I tried to catch up. I tried to do a ton of catch-up reviews, just pump out a ton of reviews and just catch up on all those manga. But things really did not work out. All the reviews ended up just being rushed and just really terrible. And I considered uploading some of them, but I ended up not doing so because I'd rather not upload a review if it's just going to be crap and if it's just going to be me spewing random stuff that just makes no sense. And watching those videos back, it didn't look like I was really enjoying myself doing the review. And honestly, I didn't even enjoy reading the manga chapters at all this week because I was just rushing through them and just trying to get the reviews out. And this is definitely not because I'm not liking manga anymore, or I don't like reviewing manga. I love reviewing manga. It's just that I overcommitted a little bit. So I'm really sorry for going back and forth on this. I know I said at one point I'm reviewing like 6 manga, and then I brought it down like back to 4, and then back to 6, or something like that. But from now on, I've decided, and this is pretty much going to be the norm from now on, I'm only going to be reviewing 4 manga: Bleach, One Piece, Naruto Gaiden, and Tokyo Ghoul. I would rather commit to doing 4 reviews a week consistently and without fail. And these 4 manga, you guys can count on me getting them out every week and hopefully without fail. But I'd rather do this, try and get them out consistently as much as I can every single week, than just do a ton and be super inconsistent. So those 4 manga that I mentioned, you will be getting reviews of that every week. And the other manga I'll try to review once in a while, but unfortunately I can't really guarantee that I'm going to do those. Maybe if I get some more time later on, I'll start doing those again. But apologies to the fans of this series that I am dropping. I still love those series, I'll still be reading them, but I just don't want to promise that I'm going to provide reviews for something that I can't deliver on. So to reiterate, I'm only going to be reviewing 4 manga consistently per week, and that is Bleach, One Piece, Naruto Gaiden, and Tokyo Ghoul. Alright, on to the second order of business here, and that is the Q&A video that I promised I would be doing in last week's Shout Out Sunday episode. Now, I was originally planning on releasing it, sometime yesterday actually, or even sometime today, but it turns out that I'm actually approaching 500 subs way faster than I expected, which, by the way, guys, is quite frankly unbelievable. You guys are honestly so awesome, and I know I say this every video, but I cannot reiterate enough how crazy it is that I have such a supportive community, and just how awesome all of you guys are. But I digress. Because of this, because I'm approaching 500 subs, I've actually decided to hold off on the Q&A and make that my 500 sub special. Make it something, kind of special instead of just like a normal Q&A video, I guess. So you can hopefully expect that sometime within the next 2 weeks. Of course, it does depend on when I hit 500 subs, but whenever I hit 500 subs, I will be doing it immediately that weekend. So thanks again for all the support, guys. And you can expect to see that Q&A video fairly soon. Alright, and finally here, I want to quickly once again discuss my next LPs. Now, in the last Shout Out Sunday episode, I asked you guys to vote for my next LPs, and I cut off the votes. I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday night, but I cut it off one of those nights. And as for my non-Pokemon LP, Oblivion actually won by a fairly decent margin. But the thing is, I've been seeing some things about Fallout 4 potentially being released earlier than expected, as early as October even. We don't actually know the release date, but that may change because I believe E3 is going on as I am making this video. So, but regardless, we can sort all this stuff later. The point is that the Fallout 4 release date, excuse me, might be earlier than expected, and it might be even as early as October. And the way things are going with Fallout 3, I want to do around 75 episodes or something, and that, I calculated it would take me till around the middle of September, which if Fallout 4 was released in October, that would give me like no time for Oblivion. And I want to do a full playthrough of Oblivion. I want to do like a 75 episode thing. I want to make it a huge thing, and I want to give the game its due because it's a great freaking game. So basically what I'm trying to say here is, whether or not I play Oblivion next depends on the release date of Fallout 4. I guarantee you my next 2 LPs will be Fallout 4 and Oblivion, but I just won't guarantee the order because it really does depend on the release date of Fallout 4, and I would like to do that as soon as that is released. So basically my point is, next 2 LPs will be Fallout 4 and Oblivion, but the order in which that's done depends on the release date of Fallout 4. And it looks like we'll actually be getting that soon, so hopefully I can get you some news on that very soon. Now, as for my Pokemon LP, when I cut off the votes, Nuzlocke and non-Nuzlocke were actually tied. Or rather, actually, non-Nuzlocke was winning by 1 vote, but I actually gave it 2 more hours, and Nuzlocke made a comeback. So what I've actually decided to do is sort of take a middle ground, intermediate approach here, and come up with my own new challenge, or rather, I shouldn't say that's my challenge, because I actually came up with it collaboratively, if I could actually freaking say a simple word here. I came up with it with another YouTuber who deserves just as much credit for coming up with this idea, and I'll discuss that later in the video a little bit more. But yeah, this idea is something completely new, and if I had to say, I think it might even be harder than a Nuzlocke. That's right, guys, it might even be harder than a Nuzlocke, and it's going to be way more fun and way more unique, in my opinion. When I came up with this idea with this fellow YouTuber, I was really excited, and I think you guys are actually going to like it more than a Nuzlocke, because it is something unique, like I said. I'm not going to give it away yet, but I will be giving hints in some of my videos, and there will be a hint in this video, but I'm not going to say when I'll give the hint, so it'll be at some random time in this video. Alright, now on to the shoutouts here, and as I said in my last episode of Shoutout Sunday, I can't force you guys, of course, to subscribe to any of these channels. All I ask is that you guys give these channels a chance, and you at least check them out, at least give them some feedback, and at least watch a couple of their videos, and just generally give their content a chance, because who knows, you might really end up liking a couple of YouTubers on here, because I quite frankly think that all of these YouTubers are great. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. First person on the shoutout list is Rankless Warrior, otherwise known as Bud. Now, this is actually the guy who helped me to come up with that new challenge I was talking about before, and if everything goes according to plan, he'll actually be playing it alongside me, which I am really pumped for. But other than being full of creative ideas, he's also just a super supportive dude in general. The sheer volume of comments he's left me on my channel is quite frankly unbelievable. The amount of support he's given has been absurd. He's just a super supportive guy, and he's also a really nice guy to talk to over YouTube. We've had tons of conversations about various topics ranging from favorite Pokemon to, you know, how much Nintendo sucks with some Pokemon games, which apparently we both like to complain about. Probably me more so than him, because whenever I feel, I just blame it on Nintendo. But the point is that this guy is super nice, and he's just a super nice guy to talk to as well. With regards to his channel, I definitely say he makes some pretty amazing stuff, and I'd also say that he hasn't quite been receiving the recognition that he deserves, because there's no question in my eyes that he makes things that are easily on par with YouTubers that even have hundreds of thousands of subs. And as for specific content, he does a pretty large variety of things. One of my personal favorites here on his channel right now is his Pokemon Emerald playthrough, and you guys know how much I love Emerald. With, of course, Ruby being my first game and Rayquaza being one of my favorite Pokemon. Rayquaza is, of course, the mascot Pokemon of that game. But he's also currently LPing Dragon Age, which I don't have that much experience with, but I've heard great things about it, and I've been meaning to try out that game at some point. He also does some Gears of War stuff as well, which is a phenomenal game, among other things. So if you like the stuff on my channel, chances are that you're going to love the stuff on his channel, so definitely go and check him out after the video. The second person I want to thank is Delta Merix, otherwise known as Nick. And Nick is another YouTuber who, quite frankly, is sorely under-recognized. If I'm not mistaken, he has around 66 subs right now, but there's definitely no question in my mind that he deserves a lot more. Whenever I visit Nick's channel, all the videos are always really high quality. Another thing is that he's really consistent with the uploads. He always gets out like 4 or 5 videos per week, most of the time, which I feel like can be a little difficult to find on YouTube. Sometimes people just don't have a consistent uploading schedule, and I definitely am included in that bunch sometimes. I feel like I get out a decent amount of videos, but sometimes I guarantee things that I don't get them out. But my point is that Nick uploads pretty consistently, and his uploads are always high quality. And I also find to be a really entertaining dude. His style is definitely more focused on the actual game content most of the time, as opposed to, going off on tangents, which some YouTubers do, myself included. But I'd say that the biggest thing about him is that he does a really good job making just the game entertaining in general. Even in the boring parts of the game, I always feel like his commentary does a good job bringing out, I guess, the funness in the game, and just making the video fun even in the boring parts. With regards to the specific content on his channel, he's currently doing a Let's Play of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers on Darkness, which I would actually say is one of my favorite LPs on YouTube right now. I feel like the game is actually kind of unique, as opposed to the standard main series Pokemon game, which are great as well, but it's just nice to see the Mystery Dungeon in there as well. And his commentary style honestly really suits the game. Like I said, even in the dull and boring parts of the game, his commentary just makes things fun still, and just keeps the viewer entertained and interested. And he also does some Final Fantasy stuff, which to be honest, I'm less familiar with, but if you like that kind of stuff, definitely go and check him out. Another thing is that Nick and Bud being Rankless Warrior, the first person I mentioned in the shoutouts, actually do quite a bit of collab content together, and I actually think they make a very good team. The whole collab team they've got going is actually really cool, and they actually have a collab channel with one other YouTuber called Pokemon Try, which I will link in the description, and you guys should definitely go and check out their content, check out Pokemon Try, and check them out, because they make a very good team, and I feel like that the collab setup they have is definitely one of the more unique setups on YouTube, so I would highly recommend checking out both of their individual channels as well as Pokemon Try. Okay, so third on the shoutout list here is Yeti Hype, and quickly I want to start this shoutout off with a bit of a story here. Now, Yeti's actually a considerably bigger YouTuber than me. I believe he has around 700 plus subs at the moment, and just watching his videos in general, and watching his update videos especially, where he talks a little bit more about his real life, it's pretty clear that between YouTube and between real life, the dude is really busy. But at the same time, he still manages to find time to comment on a good amount of my videos, which is really impressive, and I feel like it just speaks to the guy's character. The dude is definitely a really nice and really awesome guy. But besides that, he also just makes great content in general. He isn't one of those YouTubers that's just going to freak out all the time or overreact like crazy or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, that style is really cool as well. But his style is definitely a little bit more low-key. And at the same time, still guys, he is really entertaining. And quite frankly, he's also really knowledgeable about the games he plays. If you need help with a game, then he's your man. He can help you a lot with walkthroughs and that kind of stuff. Unlike me, where, playing Fallout 3, I get lost all the time. But yeah, guys, this guy's really knowledgeable about the games he plays. And he also cares a lot about the video and audio quality, which obviously isn't the most important thing. It's very important, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing for me, in my opinion, is commentary style and things of that nature. But he cares a lot about that, and that is still important. So you can always expect the gameplay footage that he puts out to be really good and the audio quality to be really good. Finally, as for the specific content on his channel, he does a lot of Let's Plays, permadeaths, and he's also a speedrunner. And as for specific series, he's currently playing through Pokemon Red, which is one of my favorite LPs on his channel, and he's also doing an Oblivion permadeath run, which is also really cool. But I've also seen some Skyrim and Borderlands content on his channel in the past. And basically, if you're a big Pokemon or big Bethesda fanboy like me, then you're definitely going to love his channel, so I'd highly recommend checking out Yeti Hype. Okay guys, well I think it's time for a short break here, and it's time for me to give you the hint as to what my next LP will be. And the hint I've got for you guys is slacking. That's it. That's all you're getting. Alright, now on to number 4, guys. And number 4 on the shoutout list is Sukai Hikushi. And this one really has been a long time coming. Sukai has definitely been one of the most supportive YouTubers on my channel. He has left comments on a very large majority of my videos, so it really does feel really good to finally be thanking him here. And besides just being a super supportive guy, he also makes some really great stuff. I believe he recently restarted his channel, and because of that he only has 19 subs, but he definitely deserves a lot more if you ask me. As for specific content, he does a ton of manga reviews and reviews manga like, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and other great stuff like that. And he also does a good deal of gaming videos and does games like Final Fantasy, Naruto, Xenoverse, and other stuff like that, some of which I'm less familiar with, but I still really enjoy his gaming content as well. So definitely check this dude out if you're into manga, if you're into anime, or if you're into gaming, because he makes some pretty awesome stuff. Alright, so the final person I want to thank on this shout video is D-Free. And for those of you who saw my Naruto Gaiden manga review from this past week, which was actually a collab review with D-Free, you guys know how awesome D-Free is. He's just generally a super nice, super chill, and super supportive dude. And honestly, the review we did last week, just being able to sit down and have a conversation with D-Free about that amazing chapter of Naruto Gaiden was one of the funnest and coolest things I've done on YouTube so far, period. Now, of course, D-Free also has a pretty awesome YouTube channel of his own. I believe he's currently around 450 subs, so definitely go and check him out. Let's see if we can get into 500 pretty soon, because he definitely deserves a lot more than 500 if you ask me. But yeah, and it's also pretty clear that he has a very busy life, even outside of YouTube. But he's still managed to lend me support on a good deal of my videos, and the fact that between real life and responding to comments and making videos and all that stuff, he's still able to do this really speaks to his character. With regards to his channel, it's generally focused on Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Pokemon related stuff, and my personal favorite LP on his channel at the moment is his Pokemon Glazed Nuzlocke, which quite frankly is one of my favorite Nuzlockes that I'm currently watching. I feel like in general a Nuzlocke is overdone and can get a little bit stale, but that is definitely not the case with this Nuzlocke. D-Free's Pokemon Glazed Nuzlocke is always fresh, always cool, and always entertaining. And he's not gonna, upload like 50 episodes of this per day, but each episode is really high quality stuff. It's definitely a quality over quantity philosophy, excuse me, which I definitely say is the right approach to things. D-Free also does a lot of Xenoverse related content and is currently doing a walkthrough of Sword Art Online Lost Song, which to be honest is stuff I'm a little bit less familiar with, but those series are really great as well. And I guess the general point is that if you guys like the stuff on my channel, you're definitely going to like his channel as well. The content on my channel, excuse me, is pretty much just gaming, anime, and manga related videos, and his channel is pretty much the same, so if you like my channel, definitely go and check out D-Free. Alright guys, well that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. As usual, thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, rate, and subscribe to all the YouTubers that I have mentioned in this video. They're all really good at what they do. I would highly recommend that you at least give them a chance and check out their channels. The comment question of the day is, I want you guys to take a guess as to what you think the next Pokemon LP will be and what you think the challenge is going to be, because I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I did, of course, leave the hint in the video, so if you guys want to give me a guess as to what you think the next LP will be and what do you think that challenge will be, leave it in the comments. Of course, I'm not going to reveal what it is, but I'm just curious to see what you guys think it's going to be. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.